like how they're carrying the American flag.
It's not big. You had this at the main line. That's not.
Actually, maybe. Now that I think of it, I
Well,
don't.
I'm going to play live with you.
Does it count?
Now, please remain standing for the national anthem performed by the Gatlinburg-Pittman Marching Band, directed by Mr. Greg Fish.
Hello, football fans. Marty Nicely, along with Kevin Tierney, Tana Trenum, Rob Younger, and Jim Moore from Hammond Stadium, Legion Field, the Mike Helton press box, here for a rare Thursday night game, a 7 o'clock kickoff. People are still coming in. Big TV game televised by WVLT, Channel 8 out of Knoxville. Rob, this is always a unique location when you're the Thursday night football game and you're featured on TV. That's a big deal for these kids.
Well, it is a big deal. It's a big deal for both communities. And, of course, I think it's a big deal for WVLT. They love coming to Gatlinburg. They think we have one of the greatest stadiums in East Tennessee. They just love the atmosphere. They came out and watched the bagpipes early, talked about the setting of the stadium in the mountains. Plus, it's a real rival game. It's an in-county rival against a fairly new football program, but they're in our region, and the game itself has become a big deal.
Rob, you mentioned that both teams, Region 2, 3A, second time they played. GP came out last year winning 35-14. Both teams come into this game tonight 1-1, looking for their first region win. Rob, disappointing loss for Gatlinburg last night. What are some of the keys to the game tonight for Gatlinburg?
Well, both teams had disappointing losses last Friday night, Marty. I think the keys to the game are just obviously correct some of the mistakes that helped get us beat last week, and got to do better communication on special teams. Got to cut out the turnovers, Marty. We had 5 turnovers, 4 of them in the first half. I think defensively we've got a few key players that we're going to have to stop, mainly their running back number 22, Nail, their quarterback number 9, Dante Reagan, and they've got a couple of other good players, number 2, a wide receiver, Eric Chandler. But they've got a few good weapons. They really spread the field. They're going to come out in a lot of different formations. They almost always have 4 wide receivers. So they're going to take a lot of our guys out of the box by formation, but got to be better tacklers. Toward the second half of the game last week, we missed an awful lot of tackles. We got to improve on that.
Coach Rang mentioned in the paper today that he felt like they had played really good defense for 6 quarters, and then the second 2 quarters of the second half last week did not tackle well, had some breakdowns, and I know an emphasis this week on practice was to correct some of that.
Well, coming into the season, I think they felt like that they were in the best condition that they've ever been in, and they talked about how in that first game in the third and fourth quarter, we still seemed fairly fresh and against Cloudland and kind of dominated them. But last week, of course, Oneida, a great football program with a stud running back, and they just kind of wore us down in that second half. But I expect the Highlanders to make those adjustments and improvements, and this is going to be a great ball game.
We're ready for kickoff. GP will receive the opening kick. We've got some weather issues around us. We hope we get through tonight's game without having to deal with any of those, but it's football time here at Hammond Stadium. Kickoff is going to be short, fielded by an up back. And GP will start. That was number 14 for Gatlinburg-Pittman, Connor Reagan. GP will start with pretty good field position, about the 36-yard line.
And Marty, I think that was just a bad kick. I don't know that was a planned squib kick, but number 14, Connor Reagan, did a great job of handling this ball, protecting it. Because I think if they would have watched tape last week, they would have kicked it deep.
So GP opens, 3 wide outs near side, single back, sweep this way, Akey.
Marty, good football play. It's a formation that we didn't see last week against
Oneida.
Against Oneida, come out in a bunch formation to the left. You see the 3 wide receivers. I thought they were going to throw the ball. Just a good toss sweep, and those 3 wide receivers did a great job with their stalk blocks and a heck of a football play to start the game on.
Gain of 6 on first down will bring up a 2nd and 4. Split backs. Schultz in the shotgun. There's a pass out in the flat on target to number 10 for Gatlinburg-Pittman, Carlitos Lopez. And Rob, everything was on time with that play.
Highlanders looked sharp, Marty. Good. It came out in split backs. Got those linebackers in there. Great out route by Carlito Lopez. Marty, just great touch, great spiral through that outside shoulder. And good-looking football play. Good pass protection up front.
1st and 10, Schultz. Handoff. Looks like he was reading. He looked like he wanted to keep that ball and almost pulled it out. But
well, one thing I think that the coaches wanted him to keep that a little bit more. It is a read play, and he's sitting there reading it, and I think he did try to pull it, and Akey just kind of took the ball from him, and it slowed the play down. But great blocking up front, and say that's what the coach has that in his head, to keep the ball, keep it more, and he kind of rode it a little bit too long.
2 wideouts, both sides. Schultz drops back. There's the center screen. There's a face mask. It should be a 15-yard penalty. There, the flag is finally thrown.
Well, Marty, the reason they're running that play this early, and it was not a well-executed play, we got lucky that we got a face mask call right there, and it's going to be a big penalty. Northview is going to come out. They're going to blitz. In both games that they've watched, they blitz those linebackers a lot, and so they're just going to try to throw it over their head with that middle screen, which last year we got a lot of mileage out of that middle screen. But the Highlanders kind of got lucky here.
Another first down by penalty this time. 1st and 10, Gatlinburg-Pittman on the Northview 34-yard line. Schultz, shotgun. Handoff. Schultz keeps the ball this time. Good ball handling there. I thought he'd hand it off to Pierce Hammonds. Here's the replay. The end crisis, so that was the right thing. That's pretty good play by their secondary. Brings up a 2nd and 7. Schultz keeps it again, loses his footing, had a little bit of running room there, slipped, still got a gain of about 2, will bring up a 3rd and 5.
And Marty, that's a called play. That we saw that play a couple times in each game. You see Schultz faking the play away, keeping the ball. Number 33 just does a good job getting off Kevin Burkett's block and making a good tackle.
If he'd been able to maintain his footing there was more there that time. 3rd and 5. Northview 29-yard line. Akey in the backfield, Schultz in shotgun. There's the quick pass, complete. Basically just I don't know what you call it. I call it just a stop pattern.
And Marty, that's going another one to Carlitos Lopez is going to be good for a first down. Good job by Bo Rowland, Howard, or not Howard King, Jacob King at the right guard position.
Right. Another first down. 1st and 10, Gatlinburg Pittman. Northview, 21-yard line. Snap. Schultz keeps it up the middle, cuts it outside. 10, 5, touchdown, Gatlinburg Pittman.
And Marty, I think they kind of looked at that play where they weren't successful the last time and said, hey, I think if we run that again, we're going to have something. They did a better job blocking number 33. And J.D. Schultz just ran it, did a great job reading the blocks, broke it outside, and showed a little speed for.
Might have gotten away with a little tackle or a little hold there. Kick is up from Flynn. It's good. And with 8:39 left in the first quarter, GP takes the ball on their first possession and goes 62 yards to score. Here's the replay again.
And Marty, I've been trying to tell you for years there is no such thing as holding.
Oh, okay.
Marty, the Highlanders get a break on a penalty, but they also look pretty sharp. We had positive gains just about every play. J.D. Schultz is looking sharp in this first half, thrown 3 perfect passes and did a good job running the ball.
And Rob, we had some internal discussion, but one thing I think helped them, they were throwing on downs when they didn't have to throw on early downs.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, we need a really good kick here. I don't know if we're going to kick to the sideline, but Northview has 2 exceptional athletes back deep to return the kickoff. They have number 2, the defensive back wide receiver, Eric Chandler. And Marty, he's a super athlete. He's 6'3", 185 pounds, only a junior. And, of course, number 22, A.J. Nail, who transferred from Carter High School over the summer. 5'8", 175-pound, really shifty runner.
Rob, we have a television timeout here. We'll tell you that tonight's broadcast is sponsored by the Greenbrier Bee Company. And you can see these broadcasts. Here's the extra point attempt. You can see these broadcasts on Charter Cable, Channel 193, anywhere in Sevier County, or on your computer, gattv.com. There is your local honey.
Marty, get in touch with me if they want some more. Come to Pittman Center Heritage Day on September the 14th, and we'll have a booth set up with an observation hive and plenty of Greenbrier honey.
Of course, if I had my own jar, I could tell you how good it was and have truth in advertising here. But I had some last year, folks, and it's all locally produced honey. It is excellent honey.
Well, like I said, I'll get that to you Tuesday.
Rob, I happened to see them practice a little bit this week, and they consistently practice this directional kickoff to this side back here in the corner. So I think they're going to kick away from the 2 deep ones, and they've done a pretty good job of directionally kicking the first 2 games.
Well, lined up on the right hash. Northview still spreading the field.
Nope, they kicked it away. Back, and there's a offsides on Gatlinburg Pittman. That was a pretty good kick, taking about the 4-yard line.
Well, you know, Northview was lined up based on the kicks they saw last week on film.
Yeah, the offsides was on this side.
And Flynn kicked it over his head.
Another good crowd tonight. A little bit late arriving. Some people probably thought it was kickoff was 7:30. Obviously, being a county rivalry game, Northview has brought a big crowd, and people are still coming in on this side. So, high school football, nothing better. GP kicks again, kicks it deep. Another good kick, taken at about the 9-yard line. There's pretty good coverage. Everybody stayed in their lanes, Rob, and tackled at the 30-yard line.
Good coverage by the Highlanders. Good kick by Flynn. Of course, I noticed Flynn down on the field, Marty, at 6:30, receiving his state championship ring for our state championship soccer program. Marty, nice job by number 11, Ethan Stennett.
So, Northview, first possession. They're on 31-yard line. Shotgun. Handoff. Cut back up the middle. It's going to be a gain of about 5 on first down. We'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Quarterback number 9, Dante Reagan.
Marty, that defensive line, we're starting Tyler Brackens, Colton Simpson, and Saban Moore at that right defensive end spot.
Reagan hands off to Nail again. Makes the first man miss. Breaks one tackle, and he'll have the first down. Gain of about 6 yards on the play will make it 1st and 10, Northview.
And Marty, the linebackers had an X done on. You saw we were in a three-man, kind of our 3-4. Briar Howard, who was lined up at right linebacker, went opposite around the nose guard. Number 16, Isaiah Robinson was to fill his spot, and Isaiah Robinson just missed the tackle. Had a good opportunity for a big play there.
Pass in the flat to number 2. Excellent coverage. Here's the replay.
Marty, you couldn't play that any better than Bryce Akey and Ethan Esterbrook and Pierce Hammonds right there.
So that's no gain. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 3 wide outs, far side for Northview. Split backs, Reagan shotgun. Hand off to Nail. He's met in the backfield and then cleaned up by number 2 and number 16.
And Marty, Briar Howard's the one that made that work right there. You see him coming in from that, looked like the left side on a blitz, hit him right in the mouth.
Here's the replay.
And then Esterbrook and Isaiah Robinson just kind of cleaned up. You see Briar Howard creeping toward the line of scrimmage right there, comes in a blitz on the A-gap, makes a big hit on him right there. And nice looking defensive play. 2 plays in a row, Marty. 3rd and 11 for Northview. Got their big guys stretched out here to the numbers.
So they spread the field. 2 wide outs both sides in sort of a stack formation with the wide outs. Reagan looks for the seam. It's not there. He's hit from behind. Ball's on the ground. It may be. It is. GP's ball.
Marty, big play right there. It looked like Hayden Profit came up with the football. And Marty, like you said, they came out stack formation to both sides, and I'm not sure who quarterback was looking for. But Dante Reagan held onto the ball just a little bit too long, and it looked like it was Saban Moore that came in from the backside and hit him in the back. And Hayden Profit came up with the football.
A 33, Jacob Ferguson may have been in there too. But GP, 1st and 10 on the Northview 36-yard line. They fake the short pass, comes off that receiver, finds a man wide open across the middle. Number 10, Carlitos Lopez. Touchdown on the first play from scrimmage.
And Marty, you and I were riding over here talking about J.D. Schultz and talking about whether he's looking for his 2nd or 3rd option. J.D. Schultz showed a lot of poise right there. Watch him sit in the pocket. He's looking downfield. And Marty, I don't know if that's his primary receiver. You see a good pump fake, but he waits for this guy to get open, and as soon as he sees him, he throws the perfect pass, hits him right in the numbers, right on the dead run. And Lopez.
Extra point up. Good.
Marty, that's J.D. Schultz's first touchdown pass on the season.
And Rob, we'll see that again. He either came off or he did a good job with his eyes making the safety go the other way. I think so too.
I think Ethan Stennett was his first read. He kind of got tripped up, and he looked for that secondary receiver. You know, another thing that we talked about after last week's game, we felt like we really needed to throw the ball in between the hashes a little bit more last week, or this week. Everything was outside the hashes, flat routes and screens. This time we talked about running post routes or seam routes or even putting a tight end and running a hot pass, but there we go. Got what we wanted.
And again, 1st down. Pass on 1st down.
Great job of play calling by offense coordinator Lee Hammonds.
So great start for the Highlanders. 6:38 left to go in the first quarter, and GP up to a 2-score lead, 14-0. Flynn, kickoff. Kick is up. Going to be taken at about the 3-yard line. Great kick. GP, great coverage from the kickoff team.
Marty, that just looked great. That's kind of how when you draw it up on the chalkboard and you talk about it on film, that is just a fantastic job. You got some speedy guys like Ethan Stennett and a couple others down there. And it looked like number 19, Liam Brackens, is the one that made the tackle.
And Rob, great kickoff, deep. Great coverage.
Marty, nice job that Liam Brackens is a sophomore wide receiver, defensive back.
Reagan, quarterback, keeps it for Northview. He's going to be tackled after very little gain, maybe 1 yard. Rob, he likes to do a lot of his damage inside the tackles, and GP was ready for him there.
Good job by Saban Moore just crushing that offensive tackle. Watch Briar Howard read that and feel it. I'm telling you, Briar came to play tonight. And Marty, I'm not just saying that because he's a Pittman Center boy.
2nd and 10.
That was a good football play, but nice job by Saban Moore. Good job by let's see, actually number 67, Tyler Brackens is.
3 wideouts this side. Reagan hands off. He keeps the ball, follows Nail through the hole, but again, pretty good defense by GP. We'll bring up a 3rd and about, we'll say 6. Rob, that's what he likes to do, is fake the handoff and then follow the back through the hole. 4.
Marty, this is a good job by Hayden Profit, kind of reading it, just falling down in there and making the play.
3rd and 6, Reagan. Fakes the handoff, throws out in the flat. Good coverage, would not have been a first down anyway if it was complete. So, 4th down. Northview will punt the ball.
Marty, great coverage. Good job by Bo Rowland, getting up there and getting his hand up, making it a little more difficult for the quarterback to see and find his passing lane.
Deep for GP, Stennett. Kick is away. It's a pretty good kick. Stennett lets it land, picks it up on the bounce, makes the first player miss, almost gets through. GP will have the ball. Great field position, 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line.
You know, after the game last week, even though Stennett made a couple of mistakes, and it may or may not have been his fault on special teams, and we're talking about communicating on kickoff return. And I texted his dad, Tony, the next day talking about how impressed I was with Ethan, and his reply was, he's got a lot of work to do.
So 1st and 10, Gatlinburg-Pittman. Schultz, shotgun. Pass. Oh, hook and ladder. Rob. Which wide open tonight.
You know, Marty, that takes a lot to execute this play. One, we did a great job pass protecting up front. And then you've got to make a good throw. You've got to make a good catchable ball where they can catch it with their hands. Well executed play. Not a lot of room to work on the sidelines. And, well, we got lucky there. Pierce fumbled that ball.
1st and 10. Schultz. Handoff. Keeps the ball. Left side. Cuts it up. Huge gain on 1st down for J.D. Schultz.
Marty, going to something that's been good to us right here. You know, you see those linebackers coming, biting on Bryce Akey, and it just left it wide open for J.D.
Another 1st down on the Northview 23-yard line. 1st and 10. 2 wide outs far side. Schultz in shotgun. Handoff. Hammonds cuts it back up, and we'll be close to another first down. Rob, he made a nice cut right at the line of scrimmage.
And the impressive thing about that, Marty, their best defensive player had an opportunity to tackle him right there, number 2, Eric Chandler, and he made a nice cut. Chandler just barely got an arm on him.
Another first down for GP on the Northview 12-yard line, 1st and 10. 3:48 left to go here in the opening quarter. Schultz. Handoff Akey. Right side. Cuts it up. Spins. Takes it down to about the 5-yard line. Nice effort by Akey.
You know, Marty, impressive run by Akey. Northview had some bodies right there and had an opportunity to see the linebacker stunning and, see a defensive tackle get through. A defensive back had a shot at him, made 2 guys miss, and then he, just with extra effort, got the ball down to the 5-yard line.
We'll say second and 2. Handoff left side. Hammonds cuts it up, gets it down to about the 1-yard line. It will be a first down, 1st and goal for Gatlinburg Pittman.
Marty, a little bit of penetration right there. Bryce Akey made a key block, and really just, I don't know that it was his assigned man, but there was some penetration. Bryce Akey, heads up play, made a good block.
First down, under center, Schultz. Handoff into the end zone, Bryce Akey. Touchdown, GP.
J.D. Schultz knew that was a touchdown when he made the handoff. He handed the ball off and just trotted to the sideline. Great job blocking up front. You see Colton Simpson at center, King at right guard, Rowland at right tackle. Will Brooks absolutely demolished his guy, came off and got a second block. What a offensive line surge.
Extra point. Snap, down, kick, up, kick, good. So with 2:43 left to go in the opening quarter, GP, an offensive explosion here, leads Northview 21-0. Rob, here's the replay again.
Marty, watch this offensive line. Watch Will Brooks, the left guard right here. I mean, he just absolutely crushes his defensive tackle, comes off, and then and Colton Simpson just, drives his nose guard 3 yards into the end zone. That's the offensive line play that everybody's been talking about, that Matt Evans talked to me about last week. Now if we can just keep it up for 4 quarters.
Here is an earlier play from this past drive. This may be the hook and ladder. Yep. Pass open right there, and then back to Hammonds. Makes that man miss. Then we did get lucky. Guy put the helmet right on the ball that time, but he went out of bounds.
Got a new return guy in for Northview. Number 5, Bryce Pincoto, coming in for number 2, Chandler.
So Flynn approaches the ball. Kickoff, is it going to be inside the 5 again, into the end zone? Rob Flynn has been nailing his kickoffs tonight.
And Marty, I thought they would kick it away from number 22. They're just kicking it straight down the hash no matter who's lined up there. But, boy, he put it deep, and impossible ball
that ball
for Nail to handle.
Yep. So Northview will start on their own 20-yard line, their 3rd possession.
Marty, speaking of kickers, they honored Al Shirley before the game when they gave out the championship trophy to the soccer team, and talked about his years of service in the community to the soccer programs.
And that's going to be little or no gain there, met by the middle of the GP defense.
Marty, the Highlander defense is just swallowing these guys whole. Tyler Bracken's doing a great job in there. Saban Moore, left end, Bo Rowland, slipping over, playing offense and defense. Inside linebackers, Isaiah Robertson and Briar Howard. Outside linebackers, they've got number 4 in the game, Hayden Profit. He's been a great player for us.
And Rob, they've changed quarterbacks too. That's number 17 for Northview, Samuel Decker, a junior, in at quarterback right now.
Marty, that is interesting. Number 9, Dante Reagan's on the sideline with his helmet off.
Sometimes coach can just try to be maybe getting somebody's attention.
Connor Reagan in there at the outside linebacker spot for Pierce Hammonds.
3rd and 10. Fakes a handoff. Looks up the middle. Pass is incomplete. It would have been a first down, but it was dropped by number 2, Eric Chandler. Bring up 4th and 10, and Northview will be forced to punt again.
Marty, you can't hit him. You can't hit your receiver any better than that. Hit him right in the numbers, and he just dropped it.
So Decker to punt. There's the punt, is almost blocked. Stenick calls for fair catch, comes up, makes the catch at the GP's 48-yard line, where GP will put the ball in play. Excellent field position.
I'll say one thing about Ethan Stennett. He has some nerve about him. I mean, you know, that's a hard ball to handle. He had to cover some ground to get there, and had that ball hit the ground, it would have rolled another 10 or 15 yards and gave us great field position.
So GP, 4th possession. They've scored on their first 3.
But Marty, Bryce Akey almost blocked that. I believe he'll block one before the night's over.
Handoff. Akey makes the first man miss. Looked like there might have been a little bit more in that. He's going to be stopped for a gain of about 2 yards. We'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Could have been an offsides call there.
Marty, a little bit of penetration there by Northview's defensive line.
Second and 8. Schultz, shotgun. In the flat, complete. Number 25 for Gatlinburg Pittman. Trayvon Faulkner is going to bring up a 3rd and about 4.
Marty, glad to see him back in there catching the football. You know, he got kind of slammed last week on his back, got the breath knocked out of him. He's a good-looking athlete. Nice seeing him in there, and it's nice seeing J.D. Schultz spread the ball around a little bit tonight.
So 3rd and 4. 3 seconds left to go in the quarter. But should be a flag before the snap. Should have been 5 yards on the hard count. If GP didn't move, it will be first down for Gatlinburg Pittman. Gatlinburg Pittman's been very successful with the hard count in 3rd down situations.
Well, you see Burkett talking to the official. They
may have called it against GP, procedure. They called procedure against GP. Coach Rang was not happy with that call.
Well, don't talk to the official. Get back in the huddle.
Here we go. Well,
we'll see the replay.
Well, we just saw it. Our right tackle lifted his hand, but it was almost simultaneous with the Northview player coming across the line of scrimmage. But that's the end of the first quarter with the score. Here's the replay again. Watch. Hand comes up, then the guy leaves. It probably was the correct call. Officials still discussing it. One of the other officials may have had it the other way. There may be one untimed down here if it was a dead ball foul.
That's a hard one to call. Which came first?
So, yes, that's the call. It was dead ball. So even though there's no time on the clock, there'll be one There'll be one untimed play here, and then we'll change ends of the field.
Well, Marty,
So-
we won't have very far to go. The ball's on the 50-yard line.
Right, being easy when change, maybe the other heist mark.
You know, us linemen back when we played, we just hated to have to flip into the field. We were on the 10, 15, or 20, have to jog all the way down to the other end of the field.
So third and 8, and there's still some discussion.
Well, Marty, after watching 2 game tapes, I really didn't know what to anticipate Northview coming out in. I didn't know if they were going to come out in a 4-man running a 4-3 or if they were going to kind of come out in a 3-man front. Of course, against Sullivan North, they basically played a 6-2 goal line the entire game because they're in a tight wing T formation, but given a lot of 4-man front, bringing those linebackers up. I think I heard that Coach Rang, almost every offensive play that he practiced this week, he had somebody blitzing, working on picking up blitz and stunts.
And okay, so they said dead ball, put 1 second off all that. They should have just done a 1 untimed down and let it go. But now we'll change sides of the 50. And GP will have it 3rd and 8 as we start the second quarter.
The lineman's dream at a quarter change right there, Marty. Marty, what is the GP student section tonight? Is obviously beach night.
I think it was beach night or something, I think was what.
Marty, and as usual, we've got a great home crowd, great student section. See a lot of friends that we have.
Yep.
So at least on Bevel Reagan up there watching the game.
Good GP crowd. GP next week will go on the road for their first road game.
A first of a 3-game road trip.
And that will be next week at Hampton. Then the 14th will be at Scott. Then the 21st will be at Trinity Academy. And then on Friday the 28th, we'll be back here at home for the big battle between Gatlinburg-Pittman and Pigeon Forge.
What a treat for the fans that only come to the home games, having Northview and Pigeon Forge at home this year.
And again, third football game in August, and all 3 games have been nice temperatures, not 85, 90 degrees. Okay, I think we're ready. First play, second quarter, 3rd and 8. Schultz in shotgun, 2 wideouts this side. Schultz rolls this way. The middle, the guy, GP had a receiver in the middle of the field that JD never saw, I don't think. He was wide open. So, for the first time, Northview comes up with a stop. GP will have to punt for the first time tonight.
Well, Marty, Pierce Hammonds did the best he could do right there. He picked up a guy that got off of a block rather than picking up the blitzing linebacker, so can't defeat 2 defensive players with 1 blocker, and of course J.D. Schultz took the sack.
So GP will punt. Punt is up. Going to land, take a GP roll, be picked up at the 10. Boyd's the first man, then he's met a great tackle, open field tackle. Was that Briar Howard?
I think it was number 20. And Marty, just a great play all the way around. Great snap by Colton Simpson, Carlitos Lopez.
Here's the replay.
Good punt. And just great coverage. You see number 2, Esterbrook down there. First guy to the football. And Marty, I think you're right. Briar Howard
just put the helmet on
absolutely wrapped him up. Briar's having a great football game tonight.
So Northview has it, 1st and 10 on their own 16-yard line. Reagan back in at quarterback, hands off tackle. Going to be a gain of about 3, should bring up a 2nd and 7. Robertson in on the tackle.
Pretty nice job by Saban Moore over here at this right defensive end spot. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Northview doesn't come out. I think they're going to feel like that we didn't cover that 2 receiver adequately here. I wouldn't be surprised if they came in with the slant route from the slot receiver here.
So 3 wide outs, far side. Reagan at quarterback. Handoff up the middle. There was a hole there for a minute. It closed, but still a gain of about, we'll say 4. We'll bring up about 3rd and 3. Now we'll make that 3rd and 4.
Marty got 2 sophomores, 2 impressive-looking sophomores at our defensive end positions now. Kevin Burkett, son of Roy and Gina Burkett. Roy, of course, played for us here. His granddad, Ray, played for us. Saban Moore, the brother of Christian Moore, is really looking good at that right defensive end spot.
3rd and 4. Reagan drops back, rolls to the right. Pressure, going to be tackled in the backfield. And as you look downfield, nobody open. Great coverage in the secondary that time.
Great coverage, great initial pressure by Burkett right here. Number 16 on the blitz, Isaiah Robertson's the one that slides off and makes the tackle. Great job by Burkett, and number 4, Hayden Profit, getting the pressure on. Marty, GP's just eating Northview alive.
So on 4th and 12, Northview will punt from deep in their own territory. Ball on their own 15. GP will have great field position. Shorter punt. And it takes a Northview road. GP will set up shop on their own 45-yard line. 8:55 left to go here in the second quarter.
Good decision by Ethan Stennett. I'm telling you, Bryce Akey's going to block one of these before the night's over. Marty, I'm sure the Highlanders would like the security of another touchdown going into the locker room at halftime.
So, GP, 2 wideouts far side. Akey in the backfield with Schultz. Schultz fakes the handoff, keeps it. This time Northview plays it right, and that'll be a loss of 3 yards on 1st down. He was unblocked, Rob. I think they were counting on him following the ball, or following the fake, following the running back. 2nd and 12. 2 wideouts, both sides. Schultz looks downfield. Forced out of the pocket. He's going to be tackled for a loss.
Marty, that time the defensive end just took the inside route on Bo Rollins. He kind of set up, invited him outside in his pass pro protection, and kid just took the inside route and made a good pass rush.
So 3rd and 22.
Northview is not giving up.
Handoff Hammonds. Going to be tackled for gain of about 1. Will bring up 4th down, and GP will be forced to punt. So Northview, I didn't notice whether they had a prayer meeting here on the sideline during the change of quarters, but they've come out a little bit more intense.
Well, Marty, they've stopped the Highlanders 2 possessions in a row, and defensive coordinator Brad Justice, who used to be defensive line or linebacker coach here for the Highlanders, has kind of got us dialed in right now.
Lopez, punt, nice punt. Going to be fielded at the 28.
That's a block in the back that the
could have been.
official
Looks
was
like
watching.
it was to me. Good return. Northview will set up shop on the GP side of the field for the first time in tonight's ball game.
And Marty, that official was watching that, and it's almost like he said, I don't think I'm going to call that
Here's
one.
the replay.
Nice punt by Lopez, although it is a returnable punt. Yeah.
It was close. So we have a TV timeout. We'll mention there'll be a performance at halftime from the GP band.
Well, the Northview Cougars have somehow bowed their neck on defense, come up with something new. What are they going to try on offense? Are they going to pull something out entirely different that we haven't seen?
You see the Northview huddle there.
Marty, it looks like they're going to go back with their starting quarterback, number 9, Dante Reagan.
Yeah, he came in the last series. He was back in there. That may have just been to get his attention when he was pulled out.
Of course, now he's back on the sideline.
GP band performance at halftime. Band director Greg Fitch in his second year. Tribute to John Williams. All the arrangements by Mark Harrell. Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Raiders March, and Star Wars.
See Coach Todd Loveday, a Sevier County graduate. You know, I was talking to Eric Brackens, one of my former players, one of my favorite players that I've ever coached. And I think he may have roomed a little bit with Todd Loveday at Carson Newman. And he said Todd Loveday was an incredible athlete, had a good career at Carson Newman. Said he was just absolutely an incredible athlete. Played tight end for Carson Newman. Said he could run, jump, had great speed, good size.
Been fortunate so far with the weather. There is weather around us, but hopefully we'll be able to get this in without any delays.
Marty, they've got number 17 back in at quarterback.
17, Samuel Decker back in. He may be a better thrower. We'll see. So 6:54 left to go, second quarter. Decker at quarterback. Looks downfield. There's the ball thrown deep. GP in position. GP was in position to make that interception. Number 8, Burke Harden, was in good position here.
Great coverage.
May have just misjudged it, tried to one-hand it a little bit. We'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Marty, I'd expect to see at least one of our linebackers coming on this play. We're going to have to get more than a 3-man rush in an obvious passing situation.
3 wideouts, near side. Decker looks, throws, just batted down, deflected.
And Marty, there's that shot by, you see Briar Howard right there at the left linebacker spot. Like I said, we're going to have to bring one of those guys to get a 4-man rush. And you see Briar Howard getting through, taking a shot.
So that will bring up a 3rd and 10. Stack formation, both sides with the wideouts. Dexter at quarterback, single back.
Marty, we're coming off the edge up top.
There's the pass deep. GP's in pretty good position. Safety, with safety help, they almost intercepted that ball. It was intended for number 2, Chandler. Incomplete, will bring up a 4th down.
And Marty, I thought we were going to get some pressure coming off the edge. Nice pickup by the running back. But boy, I'm like you. I thought we were going to pick one there. We're lucky that they didn't get that.
It looks like they're going to punt. They have sent their punter in. They've stopped GP on the last 2 possessions.
And Marty, they got their quarterback in at the up back position.
It's rolled back. Good fair catch by Stennett. And Rob Akey's scaring me to death, but he's taking the proper angle so that he doesn't run into the kicker on those. But he scared me to death every time.
Well, you know, he did run into the punter's foot right there. And Marty, I haven't seen any injuries. I haven't seen anybody working on the sideline. Pierce Hammonds has been out the last 2 series from his outside linebacker spot. And I've got to wonder if he's gotten nicked up over there.
I think he's back in.
No, he's back in at the halfback position.
So timeout asked for by Northview with timeout. 6:09 left to go, second quarter. GP leads 21-0, but Northview has stopped them the last 2 possessions. Combination of Northview, a little more intensity, but Rob, is it sometimes hard when you score 21 points that easily, that quickly, to maintain that intensity?
You know, it just depends on the players and a lot of things going on. Marty, typically when you've got that momentum going for you, you just have a lot of pep in your step and kind of keep the gas pedal to the floor. But, you know, Northview's played a couple of good series. What I'm wondering is here, are they going to gamble and come out with all stops and try to for a takeaway here and try to take the ball away deep in their territory so they can get a score here before halftime? What are they going to do? How far are they going to go? You're definitely going to see some linebacker pressure.
Of course, GP has a lot of. Coach Rang brought a lot of tools on the offensive side of the ball as far as play calling or plays. Coach Hammond's liable to pull one of those out.
You know, one thing I think I would try is go back to the very first play of the game. They're really coming hard off the edges. I'd consider going back to that bunch formation, putting Bryce Akey on another sweep. Of course, the ball's in the middle of the field.
Along with the timeout called by Northview, the television timeout also, but we're back live. Look at you can see Kevin panning toward the mountains there. Sports Talk from Knoxville was up here at GP today and kept talking about the setting. It's the first time I think they had been up here, talked about the fabulous setting. Handoff, Akey. Going to be a gain of about 4 on first down. We'll say 2nd and 6.
Marty's little counterplay, or as Coach Benny Hammond's former players would call that a crossbuck. Coach Benny Hammonds is in the room next to us over there watching the game, sitting with his longtime friend Frank Moore, and of course his wife Beverly's over there.
2nd and 6. Here's the formation again, a little bunch formation on the far side. There's the pitch to Akey. Rob, you called it. He cuts it back inside, and it's going to be just short of the first down.
Well, Marty, they did what I wanted them to do, but, you know, they had one guy that kind of messed up the play. We didn't get the ball outside.
Akey cuts it inside right there. We'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Looked like there's an offsides on the hard count. There's the first down. No doubt that time.
No doubt about it. There was no movement on GP's side of the ball. Good discipline and offensive line. Great job coaching by Matt Evans. I guess
Rob, they have gotten a first down on that, at least one in every game so far. So 1st and 10. Schultz, handoff. Akey splits. He just had the tiniest of crease right there and got through for a big gain on first down of about 8 yards.
And that's a
and
Marty, that's
going to
be
the head.
That's a helmet to helmet. That's going to be against Northview, and Akey's going to be out of the game. Marty, he's going to have a concussion from that. But you're right, he had just a little bitty slither of an opening, made a great run. But you're going to see a helmet to helmet by number 2 right here, and that's That's Marty, I don't know what the penalty is in high school.
I think the penalty actually was called on the guy taunting here. They never threw it until there comes the foul. They didn't call the helmet to helmet. They called the taunting, him standing up over him. If we see that again, you'll see here. Now here's the hit. There's no call, and then this number 33 gets and stands over him and claps, and he's still doing it. And the official finally comes up and pulls the flag.
And Marty, it's when you're playing football and you're just trying to make a tackle. It's not often you're thinking, hey, I'm going to hit this guy's helmet with my helmet. And I'm sure it was incidental. I'm sure he didn't mean to do it. But the taunting penalty is something that you are very much aware of that you're doing. And there's zero tolerance for that in high school football.
And I'm a little surprised that player is still on the field for Northview. I thought he might get pulled, but
see Coach Todd Loveday on the sideline. He's making all the defensive calls for Northview.
So first down for Gatlinburg Pittman. Midfield. Schultz, quarterback, looks downfield. The go's there. It was a give and go. Wide open. Lopez is going to be tackled. There's another flag. That will be on Northview. And Rob, I could see that coming, and the wide out did a great job of selling the out pattern. Schultz, pump fake. The guy bit, the defensive back bit. Watch right here. Boom.
Well, I tell you, Marty, you're right. He did sell it, ran a great route, great catch and run afterwards. But the thing that really surprised me was J.D. Schultz hanging in there long enough to get that ball out. I mean, they had six-man pressure. They had everybody coming, and he had a guy right in his lap when he threw the football. That was impressive.
So, first and goal on the 5 when they added the half the distance to the goal line on the personal foul. GP will have it first and goal from the 5-yard line. And Kevin, we won't have time right now, but if you get a chance to run that play one more time, wait a minute, here is an official timeout. If you've got that racked and could run that play again, watch up at the top of the screen. A little spin move, but he sells it, and JD did a good job of the pump fake, and it was just wide open.
That was, I tell you, what an impressive play by J.D. Schultz. And who was the player that caught it? That was Carlitos Lopez.
Yeah, number 10.
He's had a big night tonight, Marty. Is that his third reception?
I think so.
At least 3, maybe 4. And he came into the game without a reception. Ethan Esterbrook's coming into the game leading Highlanders with 6 receptions for 91 yards, one of those on a 71-yard play. Ethan Stennett with 2. Trayvon Faulkner with 1. He's had another one tonight. Of course, Bryce Akey, Marty, I hope he's okay. He's coming into tonight with 39 rushes for 223 yards with a 5.7-yard average, 3 touchdowns, which he's up that tonight. Pierce Hammond's coming in with 24 rushes for 140 yards. He has an impressive 5.8 yards per carry.
Robin,
and 2 touchdowns.
And I think you said the first 2 games we threw 15 passes, or JD threw 15 passes. If Northview scouted us and decided that we did not have a passing game this year like we did last year, they were wrong.
Well, you're right, Martin. He came into tonight's game 10 of 15 for 130 yards, no touchdowns and 1 INT, but he's improved his stats tremendously tonight. He's had an impressive first half. But Marty, just the poise to hang in there. He saw that hit getting ready to come, but he was waiting on Carlitos to break out of that and get open. And, man, what a play.
You see WVLT up here tonight. An interesting story, Coach Jim Moore told us he was on his way back out here, and that truck was on the side of the highway on 321 stuck. I mean, it was not running. And we got back up here, and in a few minutes, a great big red wrecker backed in and parked that WVLT truck where it is. So we don't know how they're getting back to Knoxville tonight unless they've had a mechanic out here. But if you go on the other side of the press box,
Uber,
you'll see a little purple tent, and that's Sports Talk from Knoxville, Sports Radio, Mix 105.5, and they're doing the broadcast tonight, and Sports Talk was here from 3 to 7 and could not say enough about the setting, the way the field looked. It's tucked in here in the mountains. They just couldn't say enough about it. That was an injury timeout we did not see, but it was over here on the sideline evidently, and we did not pick up on that. Number 5.
And Marty, that's the
Bryce
return
Pincado.
guy.
GP, first play, off right tackle. I believe that was Hammonds down to about the 2. Down to about the 2, we'll bring up a 2nd and goal. You see the cameras for WVLT there on the far side. Schultz under center, handoff the other side. Hammonds going to be stopped short. It's going to bring up a 3rd and go.
Marty, Northview's making it tough. You see we're in a power I formation with Briar Howard and Connor Reagan up there at the halfback trying to just run a power I formation. Northview's bowing their backs.
So 3rd and goal. Schultz under center. Snap, handoff up the middle. Looks like GP signaling touchdown. They're going to say he was stopped short. It is 4th down, 6 inches or less to go. I am sure GP will go, but they do not want to come away here with a without a touchdown. I think if I was JD, I'd just get right behind my center. And I think his knee, they give him a touchdown. I was worried that his knee may have gone down, and I think that's what Todd Loveday's arguing.
I guarantee you he's arguing that. we got away with one.
Here's
there.
the replay. Well, you know,
Maybe not.
He didn't. He lunged. It looked like he was going down, but his knee did not hit the ground.
Nice job by J.D. Schultz.
There's a flag to be before the kick.
And Marty, what started out for 2.5 quarters just to be a clean, crisp, sharp football game, we've had a lot of penalties in the last 3 minutes of this half.
Offsides.
Boy, we're going to be anxious to get an injury update on Bryce Akey and just hope that it's not a concussion.
Well, they called it. It's dead ball, but now GP's going to go for 2 instead of kicking the extra point. Ball should be on the 1.5. Handoff, backside. Who was that? Number 15, Akey, is back in the ball game.
Ran the counter play. Jim Moore called it. He was up there saying run the counter on the
2-point conversion. And we have an injury timeout. A Northview player is down on the field.
And Marty, he's going to be down. He was engaged in a block, and one of his defensive linemen beside him rolled under his knee and rolled him up. He's That's not going to be good.
Watch the right side of GP's line here.
Good ball fake.
Oh, they just caved in the right-hand side.
Marty, look at number 65, Roland. He knocked his guy 6 yards back in the end zone. That's impressive. He's had a great season so far, and he's only a junior.
Here's the replay again.
Watch number 65, the right tackle. That's impressive surge by him and Jacob King both.
So, with 2:17 left to go here in the first half, GP puts another one on the board, gets a 2-point conversion, and leads Northview 29-0. Rob, I don't know if any of us quite expected this offensive explosion in the first half.
Well, we just looked so sharp each time. In the first quarter, we were incredibly sharp, got the great break with the turnover, and took advantage of that and got a score. And really, Northview's only stopped the Highlanders 2 times.
So GP's had 6 possessions so far this half, scored on 4 of them, been stopped twice.
Marty, it seems like we have run a lot of offensive snaps in 2 quarters. I'd like to see the play count. If I played over 65 plays,
Would you be on oxygen right now?
Yeah. They play so many more plays now. Marty, Al Shirley's groomed another kicker for us. The Renfro kid had such a great career here at GP. Now we've got another one on the way here.
That one came off the side of his foot a little bit. Is going to be, goes out of bounds.
Like I was saying, they honored Al Shirley with the soccer team and talked about his contribution to sports in Gatlinburg and all of the soccer programs. Can you imagine how many games and how many kids that he has worked with in soccer?
Rob, when I was hired as recreation director in 1978, Al is currently on my recreation board, but he was one of the first people that came to me after I was hired talking about AYSO soccer and getting AYSO soccer started in Gatlinburg. And he sort of single-handedly got AYSO soccer started in Gatlinburg and was the main man for many years in the soccer program.
And you said, what's soccer?
No, I actually knew, even though I was from Maryville, I actually knew what soccer was.
It's that sport that you couldn't use your hands.
So, 1st and 10, Northview on their own 35. Decker hands off into the line. And going to be a gain of about 1, maybe 2 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 8. Clock runs. 2 minutes left to go in the first half.
And there's Pierce Hammonds back in at outside linebacker, getting his nose in on a tackle. Akey's back in the game.
3 wide outs far side. Decker at quarterback. Looks downfield in the middle. Nice pass on the, not exactly a post, but now.
And Marty Carlitos Lopez, after a tackle is down.
See if he takes a knee to the helmet. I believe that's what happened.
Kind of looked like it, hit his head right on his knee or shin or.
Here's the replay. Right behind the linebacker. And it looked like his knee just got the helmet there.
Well, I hope he's okay. That guy's one of our best open field tacklers. And, up until tonight, we really didn't know much about him as a wide receiver, but he's had 4 great catches. And
sure Scott Bird will follow him over there and
Marty,
check him out.
He's been replaced by Jaden Schubert, number 6 at the free safety position there.
Decker back, looks out in the flat. It's going to be incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd and 10, a minute 30 left to go here in the opening half.
You know, this new quarterback and the offensive coaches, there's got to be a little bit of frustration here because he's made a few good passes tonight. That right there should have been a reception.
Second and 10. 2 wideouts both sides. Decker shotgun. And there's a timeout, GP.
See Coach Ring showing a little frustration on the sideline. I don't know if we have 11 men on the field. Or
I think I counted 11. We may have just been misaligned. You see the GP huddle there. Coach Rang in his 2nd year at GP, coming off a state championship undefeated season at Dresden in his stop before he came to GP. Played at Maryville High School under Coach George Quarles. Looking to even his record at GP at 500.
Well, he's a good football coach, and he's done a great job. And, you know, they also had a great offseason workout. They improved a lot between the end of last football season and now.
Decker keeps the ball off the right side. He's going to be stopped short of the first down, fumbled, picked up by Akey, and he fumbles, recovered by GP. We'll see if they ruled him down. I don't believe so. I believe GP has recovered the ball.
Well, Marty, that's Highlander football, no doubt about it.
We'll watch the replay here. I thought forward progress was. Decker turns it up. No, Pierce Hammonds just reached in there and pulled the ball out of his grasp. Pierce was the first tackler, and then he just pulled the ball out of Decker's hands. Now, again, will GP sit on it, go to halftime, or will we see something here coming out of first down? There's a pass deep. Almost, it was really a good defensive play by Nail, but almost a great reception by number 11, Ethan Stennett, who almost came down with it in spite of the defensive effort. Pass was slightly underthrown.
That was impressive by Ethan Stennett. One, he went up and over Nail and almost, like you said, made a great catch. But one thing that he also did, he prevented an interception because Nail had perfect position right there.
But Stennett had to pull up, for the pass. Ball was underthrown a little bit. Handoff, Hammonds off left side. Makes the first person miss. Badlin is going to be tackled inbounds. Clock will run. We'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Good block by Bryce Akey right there. Excellent block by Akey.
Our running backs do a great job of blocking. They do a good job on run blocks, but they also do a good job on pass protection, picking up anybody, any trash that comes through or any blitzes, stunts.
3rd and 2. Split backs. 2 wideouts near side. Schultz. Snap. Handoff inside. And Akey's going to be close. I think it's going to be 4. No, they're calling first down. And, I think Todd Loveday may have a beef there. I think that ball was spotted about a half yard short of the first down marker. So, clock is running. GP chose not to call timeout. This will be the last snap of the half. Schultz drops back, rolls out. Get out of bounds, just get out of bounds. There's a flag. Quarterback was obviously giving himself up. There'll be a one untimed play. It'll be 15-yard penalty, and GP will have one play.
And Marty, that's against number 22, A.J. Nail. I mean, he saw that Schultz clearly was running the ball out of bounds.
Quarterback was giving himself up here.
Oh, he's out of bounds.
He was out of bounds anyway.
He had both feet out of bounds. And Marty, a lot of these penalties, these personal fouls, are a little bit out of frustration.
I had another discussion. It should be, unless they said the clock ran out before that. In that case, we'll be going to halftime. That would be the last play. Penalty would be assessed coming out of halftime.
Which will be huge because, will they do it on the kickoff or the?
Well, I don't know, but I think that is the correct call. That clock had run out because it was snapped with 3 seconds left to go. So that play the clock was dead, unless you can't end the half on a personal foul. We'll see what the official says here. Dead ball. That means it was after the half. Halftime. Penalty will be assessed coming out at halftime.
Marty, that's even a bigger break for the Highlanders.
Might lead to an onside kick to open the second half. We'll see. Great first half for Gatlinburg-Pittman. GP leads Northview 29-0. We'll have performances by the Northview band and the GP band. Hope you enjoy that. And we'll be back with second half action.
Tonight the band will be performing their show entitled Piano Man, the music of Billy Joel. Their selections for tonight are We Didn't Start the Fire, Piano Man, My Life, the solo by Jerrison Crabtree, Only the Good Die Young, and Just the Way You Are. Drum Major Morgan Smith, is your band ready? Northview Academy Marching Cougars, you may start your performance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Galloper Pittman Mountain Pride Marching Band. Band captains are Caleb Houston, Shaloni Rio, Lieutenants Chandler Oval, and Madison Wales, Sergeant Brantley Cooper, and Bella Lowe, Drum Major Hannah Hall, Guard Captain Kase Cash, and Kimmy King, Guard Lieutenant Kyra Collins, Drum Captain Riley Aldridge, and Chelsea Hendricks. Soloists include Brandon Banks, Madison Wales, Shaloni Rio, Jeremiah Reed, Chandler Oval, Caleb Houston, Jared Sucks! Tonight the band will be presenting a tribute to John Williams, 8th and compositions from Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Raiders Park, and Star Wars. Please welcome the GP Marching Band.
Hello, football fans. Marty Nicely, along with Kevin Tierney, Tana Trenum, Jim Moore, and Rob Younger back here as we get ready to start the second half of tonight's game between Northview and Gatlinburg-Pittman. Gatlinburg-Pittman with a great first half leads Northview 29-0. This half will start with a 15-yard penalty on a personal foul by Northview at the end of the first half. So GP will be kicking off on the 45-yard line of Northview, I believe. Perfect opportunity for an onside kick. I don't know whether GP will do that or they'll kick the ball deep, but that's where we'll start. One of the things about GP in the first half, pretty wide open offense, throwing the ball on first and second down, complemented the run play, a couple of trick plays, but it just all went GP's way, Rob, in that first half.
And Marty, it did. We just came out really sharp and crisp like we talked about earlier. We got the big
some technical difficulties, no video. We hope y'all have got audio. Here's the video back. Pound is blocked. And I'll go back, Rob, how many times did you say during the first half that Bryce Akey was going to get one?
Well, Marty, I said it 3 times, and he was so close, and I knew he was going to get one before the game's over with. Great job, great anticipation and timing by Bryce Akey. And, Marty, I'm not sure who it was that recovered the football and almost scored.
But everything going right for GP. GP will have it first and goal on the Northview 7-yard line. 2 wideouts near side. Single back is Akey with Schultz in shotgun. Schultz keeps it off left tackle. Inside the 5, where it will be second and goal from about the 4.
Marty's been a big play for the Highlanders, and you see them bite on the fake, and J.D. Schultz does a great job turning it up. And Marty, he's already passed his season stats on running this year. He came in with 47 yards rushing tonight.
Split backs again. Handoff, Hammonds cuts up the middle, drags 2 defenders with him down close to the goal line. We'll say it's going to be third and goal from about the 2. Rob Pierce got most of this on his own.
Marty, both of our running backs have the ability to plant a foot and make a cut, make quick decisions right there at the line of scrimmage.
So third and goal from the 1-yard line. Schultz under center. They ran a cross buck out of this formation in the first half. This time handoff to Hammonds off the left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Gatlinburg-Pittman. No doubt on that one. Rob, pretty good blocking on the left side.
No doubt about it. Great job blocking right there. Good down block by the offensive tackle. Great job blocking by the power I backfield. Almost uncontested. And I tell you what, the clock's getting ready to start running.
35-0 in second half.
You know, I was talking to Jim Moore at halftime, Marty, and I said, and of course I was talking to also a couple good friends up there, former players, Randall Bryan, David Dixon, and Aaron Maples, and I said, I just can't figure this football out. I said, you know, last week I thought we were going to come in here and get off the skid with Oneida. You know, I thought we looked great, and Oneida didn't look as good on film, but, you know, obviously that didn't work out. And, you know, I thought this would be a close, contested game. Jim Moore and I said this is going to be a good football game. And it has been a good football game from the GP standpoint, but not what everybody expected.
That's where Pierce got about 3 yards on his own, drug 2 defenders with him there. Well, Rob, they obviously worked on stuff that they needed to correct, and it looks like they've improved from last week.
You know, one thing when you're watching GP, Marty, and sharp as we've been, there's a lot of underclassmen on that football team. Howard King and Colton Simpson, those 2 big guys in the middle, they're seniors. But JD's a junior. You got Bryce Akey, a junior. Pierce Hammond's a sophomore. Ethan Stennett, a sophomore. Esterbrook is one of our seniors. He's a junior. So it's the GP stable's loaded for the foreseeable future.
Got a television timeout here. It gives me an opportunity again to thank our sponsor, Greenbrier Bee Company. You want some good locally produced honey, call Rob Younger, and he'll make sure that you get some. Also available at some various vendors around the county.
Pittman Center Heritage Day on September the 14th. Of course, we're not the only reason to go there. It's a great festival.
There's the local honey. I can vouch for it. It's delicious, although I have not received my jar yet this year.
I will gladly give it to you Tuesday.
Also, if you watch the rebroadcast of these games on Charter Cable 193, channel 193 anywhere in Sevier County, or gattv.com on your computers. A whole bunch of programming on gattv.com. Probably still some football games from last year, some basketball games, various school activities from around the county.
Marty Flynn, for the most part, is always ticking off the right hash.
He's pretty consistently, except for one kickoff, put them down around the 5-yard line or a little bit inside the 5 each time tonight.
Number 20 back with their original return guys.
That kickoff's going to come down to about the 2. Taken by Nell's going to be hemmed in here. Gets loose down the sideline. GP let him out. And Rob, we might have gotten a little lackadaisical there. Looked like we had him hemmed in, and then good effort on his part. Breaks it out to about the 35-yard line.
And he really caught that ball right. His foot was just right on the half-yard line when he caught it. Did make a good cut right there. See number 23 frozen, but we had some guys in position to make the play, and he just made a good return, broke a tackle there. Good block, nice block by Northview, and a good return by A.J. Nail.
And Flynn comes up and makes the tackle. Handoff Nail around the right side this time. Keeps it strung out and coming up to make the tackle. That may have been, we'll watch the replay here. Rob, the end on that side, does a good job of stringing it out.
Well, Marty Hayden Prophet does do a great job. I think that's Ethan Stennett that comes up and makes a big hit right there behind the line of scrimmage. And Marty, I was just getting ready to say before this play, in the 2 games that I watched on film, almost every time they ran A.J. Nail, it was never between the tackles. It was on the getting the ball on the edges or on the corner, and that's really the first time they've ran that tonight.
2nd and 13. Handoff Nail the other side, and great defensive play by Gatlinburg. Pittman again has it contained. There was nowhere for him to go, Rob.
And Marty, there's your big defensive end that you're talking about, number 53, Saban Moore. And you watch him right here on the left offensive tackle. You're going to see him keeping that outside arm. Oh, just perfect, Marty, keeping that outside arm free, getting those hands in there. And, I mean, that is a great play. And then great run support by your corners. I mean, that's just good defensive football.
3rd and 13. Dexter at quarterback. Back to throw, looks down the left-hand side. Out of bounds. Pretty well covered by number 2, Ethan Easterbrook. There is a flag.
Marty, but Will Brooks, our left starting offensive guard's in there at inside linebacker now, along with Kevin Howard. He's going to bring a punch in there.
Or did they call roughing the passer? That was close. So Northview will get the first down on the penalty. Will maintain possession, have it 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line.
Well, Marty, Northview's offensive adjustment was trying to get back to the game that A.J. Nail plays the best, getting the ball out on the corners and mixing it up with the pass.
Dexter quarterback, 3 wide outs, far side. Handoff Nail. Nothing in the hole, tries to cut it outside and is wrapped up for a loss of 1.
And Marty, that's a lot of blue jerseys on the football. You see it starts right there with Brackens at that nose guard. Marty, that is fantastic. I'd love to see his granddad and talk to him about that play right there. That's Chad Brackens' son at nose guard. I mean, he made it. He caused all that. That's that's what you want to get out of a nose guard.
2nd, 12. Blitz coming across the middle, intended for number 6. Pretty good coverage by Hayden Profit there. We'll bring up a 3rd and a 12.
And Marty, along with Will Brooks at inside linebacker, the other substitute is number 51, who we don't have a 51 on our roster.
Dexter back to throw. Eludes pressure to the right side, keeps the ball, turns up. A good open field tackle by number 11, Ethan Stennett there. There was a lot of room to run if he had not made that tackle.
And there was, and Gatlinburg-Pittman brought players off of both edges. We brought both inside linebackers. Quarterback did a good job of reading that, got the ball out on the corner, and Marty had Ethan Stennett not made this great open field tackle, we might be watching the ball way on down the field.
We'll bring up a 4th down on GP's side of the field. I believe Northview is going to go for it.
Marty, here we go with those starting linebackers back in, Briar Howard and
4th down.
Daniels.
4th down and 5. Pass. There's a misread between the quarterback and the receivers, and GP will take over. Great field position on their own 48-yard line.
Little miscommunication there, and I think Decker's anxious to get rid of the football. Knew that a lot of pressure was coming.
Clock continues to run. Mercy Reeland High School up by 35 in the second half.
It is.
So Schultz at quarterback. Man in motion, Akey turns up the field. Schultz looks down the seam, wide open. And Lopez lost his balance, but he was wide open.
And Marty, there's that post route that we've wanted to see. And boy, Carlitos Lopez has had a career night tonight.
Starts in the slot. GP sends 2 people out to Akey into the flat, brings the linebacker, and it's basically, I guess, one-on-one in the secondary, and Lopez just beats the safety. 1st and 10, handoff. Akey cuts it back, still on his feet. Will gain of about, I'm going to guess, it's harder to tell down there, 7 or 8 on 1st down. We'll say 7. We'll bring up a 2nd and 3. Handoff, Akey, the other side. Cuts outside. Going to be stopped after a short gain, but I think it may be enough for the 1st down. Or it's going to bring up a 3rd and less than 1.
Marty Akey's just a workhorse. They've got him listed at 5'8", 181. He's a beast in the weight room, they say, but I mean, he just works at it, makes good cuts. Only negative play he's had this year that I've seen is the 1 fumble. I mean, he is a workhorse.
Hammonds into the line, got the 1st down and more. We'll bring up a 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line.
Picking up the 1st down, 1st and goal, Gatlinburg-Pittman.
Hammonds, after initial contact, stays on his feet, turns, and picks up a couple of additional yards. And now there's I think it's probably a cramp. It was after the play. Yes, we have a player down with a cramp. That's Pierce Hammonds.
You know, we were talking about all the young players on the roster that are even starters are getting significant playing time, and Pierce Hammonds is just really going to be a special talent. He is now.
And my guess is in the fourth quarter we will see a lot of names that we may not have seen a whole lot this year so far.
And I'm guessing that Pierce would be the fastest Hammonds in the history of Hammondses. Jim Moore told me to say that.
What are you saying, Rob?
Well, you know, the dad and the granddad played center. And I know they had a couple of cousins over in Cott County that were really good high school football players, but
you may hear from that comment.
Well, Jim Moore told me to say it.
Oh. So we have a timeout as the rain picks up again a little bit. There seems to be a conference going on with the assistant principal at GP, who may be the game manager tonight, and the TV crew. We'll see. They may have been looking at radar too, just to try to check, see if there was anything in the vicinity, any lightning in the vicinity. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Split back, Schultz. Handoff. Is that Howard? Howard looked like he had a hold. Pretty good stick by number 6 from Northview there. Hunter Smith.
Brother's had a good football game tonight. He's another kid that's just really benefited from the weight room.
Second and goal. Schultz under center. Handoff. Akey into the end zone. Touchdown, Gallenberg Pittman. And we'll watch that replay there. I couldn't tell you right now, but there was some excellent blocking on the right side, Rob.
Well, Marty, you got Jacob King rolling. You got a tight end in the game right there.
He was not touched until he got into the end zone.
And big Colton Simpson, our center, who I think has had a great career here. He had a good junior season, but he's off to a great start this year. He's a really big kid. You're going to have to think that some of the colleges in the region are going to give him a look.
So with the extra point, 1:48 left to go in the third quarter. GP leads Northview 43-0. GP firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball tonight, Rob.
Well, you know, they cleared up their mistakes, the things that they knew they had to work on. They got corrected, improved on that, and they just came out, you know, and you got to give it to the coaches too. Head coach Derek Ring and the veteran coach and all the coaches on the staff have done a great job this week of coaching. You can tell they're a well-coached football team. Did a great job play calling on both sides of the ball. Good special teams play. As you said earlier, pretty much flawless, some flawless for high school football.
Here's the touchdown again. Good kick out block, and then the lead back's in front of him. I mean, he literally did not get touched until he was in the end zone.
Marty, for whatever, there's probably a lot of different reasons, but in my opinion, high school football in East Tennessee is just really on the uptick. I think it's better than it's ever been, and not just in Class 3A. I just think all around, and you can tell by that by the number of players that signed scholarships after the seasons are over.
Well, and also, Rob, in the 6 classifications last year, I think 5 state champions were from East Tennessee. Ball's going to be taken at the 5. Stone's feet cuts it up into the secondary and tripped up on maybe a touchdown saving tackle there.
And that was by their good athlete, Eric Chandler, who's back there. You know, we kicked to him a couple times earlier, and we've done a good job containing him. You know, Marty, typically, you know, he's a big, tall athlete, got a long stride. Typically, you want return guys with shorter strides, choppier steps that can make cuts. But, you know, once you get that guy going, I mean, he's got a lot of momentum, and he's hard to bring down. He's just a really good athlete. Marty,
so
Northview, number 10, Carlitos Lopez. How many times have we seen him make open field tackles in the last 2 years?
Northview 1st and 10. Handoff. Chandler. Not much there, maybe a yard.
And again, I tell you, watch Brackens take on that double team, Marty. I mean, that is impressive.
Bring up a second and we'll say 8. Clock running, 26 seconds left in the third quarter.
Of course, you know his dad played nose guard at GP. Had an uncle that was a good ball player for us too.
Northview sends 2 wide outs to the far side. Dexter, quarterback, drops back, looks for a throwback here into the flat, and playing great defense, staying at home, is number 14.
It's Connor Reagan.
Connor Reagan. And Rob, if he had not stayed at home, that would have been a big game.
And Marty, for the casual fan watching this, you know, you see he's in good position and he stays at home, and you're right about all that. But that guy's a good running back, and making an open field tackle on a good running back is a lot harder than that look.
So that's the end of the fourth quarter. GP leads Northview. You see the score, 43-0 as the raindrops fall.
And Connor Reagan's a sophomore as well. I know Derek Rang looks at this week and this week only, you know, the next week and the season that he's in. But boy, looking down the road, he's got to feel good about GP football. Because not only does he have a great junior quarterback, he's got a great freshman quarterback. And just a stable of receivers, defensive backs.
And he sort of anticipated this, knew the middle school had 2 or 3 good years in a row, and there were a lot of good players moving up. But they may be a little bit ahead of schedule, Rob, some of these freshmen and sophomores.
Well, you know, we've got 3 guys starting on the offensive line that are underclassmen, and you got 52. Kevin Burkett, who is just absolutely a specimen. And then you got Will Brooks, who is just a fantastic player. He's 6'2", 250. We saw him play linebacker. His granddad's a good friend of mine, Danny Brooks, and we talk about him all the time. But that kid really worked hard in the offseason. And the right tackle, Bo Rowland, who you've talked about a lot tonight, that plays both ways for us. He's 6'5", 293-pound junior. And he's playing some good football. And then, of course, we're going to lose Jacob King at our right guard and Colton Simpson. And those two, Jacob King, Marty, is a sledgehammer. I mean, he just absolutely pounds those defensive tackles. And, of course, they've got some good veteran coaches, Matt Evans and Paige Yates, working with them. Who's the most veteran coach on the staff now? Is it Coach Evans or Coach Lee Hammonds?
Well, if you break up Lee's time, if you count his time away before he came back, it would be somebody else. But if you,
of course, they played together at Tennessee Wesleyan. Did Lee finish first and come? Maybe Lee's a year older than Coach Evans. He's going to be 50 years old soon. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
What's bad about that?
Makes you 66. Makes Big Jim Moore 62.
Third and 11. Dexter, empty backfield. Throws it out of the backfield. Nicely designed play right there. It's for the first down. I don't know if he was a slot receiver or lined up as a tight end. He was lined up as a tight end.
And Marty, I don't think that was an intentional tight end delay. I think it just took him a while to get untangled with Hayden Profit and get into his route. A good job by Decker.
So 1st and 10, Northview on the GP 27-yard line. 3 wide outs near side. Dexter at quarterback. There's the screen. Pass was dropped, incomplete. Pretty well covered by GP anyway. I don't think there was much there. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10. You can see GP defensive back run to the ball here. Both of them were in pretty good position there. Clock continues to run as we're in the mercy rule situation here in the second half. Second and 10. Dexter looks into the end zone. Going to be overthrown. We'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
Marty Highlanders have a lot of incentive to keep them out of the end zone. We want to keep that clock running. Of course, they'd have to score twice and get a 2-point conversion. But we want to get this clock running and hope we don't get any lightning in the area and have a delay.
Rain is picking up a little bit. You can see it on your screen there. 3rd and 10, 2 wideouts, both sides. Dexter takes a snap. Looks right side, pressured out of the pocket. Throws across. Incomplete. Pretty good coverage in the secondary again by Gatlinburg Pittman.
And Marty, the pressure was coming from the kid we talked about a while ago, Colton Simpson. I mean, this kid's 6'4", 288 pounds. Watch him at the defensive end spot at the bottom of the screen. You see him just drive that guy, get off of his block, keeping his outside arm free, which a defensive end has to do. But he runs pretty good for a guy at 290 pounds.
So, a 4th down. 9:04 left to go in the ball game. GP would love to get the stop here and have the opportunity for some younger players to get in the ball game here late in the 4th quarter. Bunch formation top, 3 wideouts. And there before I think there may have been a delay of game. It is a delay of game. Northview will be penalized 5 yards. We'll make it 4th and 15.
And Marty, talking about getting younger players in, that's one thing that Coach Benny Hammonds was just really good at over the years, making sure that he kept those young kids interested and every opportunity got them in the game. And Buford and I used to love getting a kick out of like the players, the young kids, just like getting right under the coattails of their positional coaches and following around on the sideline trying to get in the game.
So 4th and 15. There's the fake, but he's pressured out. Dexter's pressured out of the pocket. Going to be tackled for it. They'll call it an incomplete pass. I believe a back touched it first, which makes it an incomplete, illegal forward pass. There is one flag down.
Well, he was in the grasp when he threw the football. Saban Moore coming from his backside defensive end spot, and Marty talking about a good body on a defensive end, and he's a young kid.
I don't think that's on GP, is it?
I don't know how it could be.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure declined. GP ball, 1st and 10. So, Rob, we'll try to pick up a few numbers here. I think we're going to see a few new players.
Number 72, Hunter McCarter's in the game. 56, Ryan Sherripp, number 78.
And I believe Colin Shannon in at quarterback. Or no, is that still? I can't see the number. It is Shannon. Handoff up the middle. Pretty nice gain on 1st down. Here's the replay. Number 14. Nice cutback. Pretty good blocking along the line of scrimmage.
And Marty, that's the player, that's Connor Reagan, who we've called his number on defense so many times tonight. And when you put Colin Shannon in the game, that typically means that we're going to throw, we can throw the football.
2nd and 5. Ball in the corner. I think it's going to be a first down, complete to number 22, Houston Bird. Rob, ball got there in a hurry.
Ball got there in a hurry. Great zip on the football. Good. Of course, he's the son of one of your employees, Don Shannon, and of course Ashley Shannon, his mom's the teacher in the county. Grandson of Neil and Sandy Estes. Of course, Neil was a college and pro football player and a longtime defensive coordinator for the Highlanders.
5:08, clock runs. First and 10, GP. GP set. Ball comes to Shannon. Keeps the ball. Wrapped up, tackled. Going to be a loss of about 1 that time.
Marty, that's one of those lookout blocks. You turn around and yell, look out.
Second and 12, 4:26 clock runs. A lot of new players on the lineup. I saw 89. Cole, a freshman. There was a flag. Be 5 yards against Northview.
Of course, he stepped on our left guard's hand. We don't have a broken finger. Marty, big night for us. Jackson's baseball team won 10-1. He pitched a complete game, struck out a few batters, hit a few. The Highlanders are going to win this game, big fashion.
Handoff. Reagan cuts it back against the grain. Going to be tackled. Going to be little or no gain there. We'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
See Lee Hamlin's giving Colin Shannon the play.
So 3rd down. Rob, I don't know if they'll say it or it'll happen again, but the right side was open if Shannon had kept the ball that time off the fake. Handoff Reagan. Breaks free. Going to be close to the first down. We'll bring a 4th and say 2. I'd say clock running 2:48. GP will go for it here. That was a bad spot.
Connor Reagan's had a heck of a football game tonight. Great job by number 73, the right offensive guard, number 72, the center right there, Marty.
73 is Baylor Beckstrom, a sophomore.
72, the center, Hunter McCarter. Marty, you're right, that was a bad spot.
GP is going to wait and let it run down and call a timeout or else take the penalty and punt it.
You know, Colin Shannon, Marty, such a good athlete, has such a strong arm. I would try to get him on the field at some position, even if it's not quarterback with the first team. I mean, that kid he's a special talent.
So GP looks like they are going to punt. I don't think Northview was anticipating really that they were going to punt, but Lopez to take the snap. Snap, Lopez. Punt is away. Nobody deep for Northview. Takes a little GP roll. It's going to be down at the 21 of Northview where they will have the ball. 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. GP, Rob. An impressive performance on both sides of the ball for GP as the rain starts to come down pretty hard.
Marty, we've got some votes coming in. You know, one thing that Buford and I used to always do for the last previous 21 years is always take votes on the player of the game. And all the ballots are in. And number 10, Carlitos Lopez, is the player of the game.
Rob, there were a lot of outstanding performances tonight by linemen and backs and skill people, but that's a good, that's a well-deserved award to Carlitos Lopez. So, put things in perspective. GP goes on the road next week to Hampton. GP goes to 2-1 on the season. Coach Ryan brings his GP record to 7-7. GP wins their first district game of the year. Important in this county rivalry to go to 2-1 on this young season. We hope you enjoyed the ball game. GP will be on the road for 3 weeks. We'll be back here on September 28th for the game against Pigeon Forge. So go GP for Kevin Tierney, Tana Trenum, Jim Moore, Rob Younger. This is Marty Nicely saying good night from Hammond Stadium, Legion Field, where GP defeats Northview 43-0.